Before we get started, if you hear my fan in the background, sorry, it's like 1,000 degrees in my room. I wanted to talk about crosshairs today. I was playing Mouse PI for Hire, that new Doom shooter with the cool cartoon art style, and I realized it had been a while since I played another shooter besides CS. I'm really enjoying the game, by the way. I think it's worth getting. But I noticed something funny that I hadn't thought about in a while, and it's my crosshair. The crosshair for the normal pistol in the game is kind of like the classic. I don't know, it's called Classic Legacy or something like that, or whatever, crosshair for CS. But I was using it, it just kind of felt weird. And so I've been thinking about that a little lately, so I wanted to make a video about crosshairs. Because I think a lot of people get caught up in the weeds with choosing one in general. Like the basic idea is just to have a center point for your screen, and I know that's obvious, but like I said, people get hung up on it. So I don't want to get too complicated with the subject. I kind of think it would be easy if we go through why I picked my crosshair. That way I can sort of just walk you through the process of like the good and the bad stuff about crosshairs. So I never had this crosshair, but I just love that Centaurus is an older player, and so he has a gigantic crosshair. So let me look at like kind of more of a we'll go with exercises crosshair here. So when it comes to a basic T crosshair, I think it's always important to always like never have a center dot. The idea is that you're supposed to that's where the T's head is going to be, is in the center dot, right? If you've got a dot in the center, for me it kind of like it kind of like made it difficult for me to think, is there a person there or not? That's kind of what I was thinking about when I was dealing with Mouse PI for Hire. Because without the center dot, it's kind of like you're imagining the T's head just being there. I think that's the main important bit with the T crosshair. The other thing about the T crosshair that you got to think about is kind of like the size of it. Like obviously the size of the gap and then the size of the lines. I feel like since this is such a precise shooter, it's better to have like a smaller crosshair. That's kind of like a personal preference to me, but for me, I can kind of get caught up on certain things like, let's say I'm looking at the left part of the cross and the right part of the cross. If I'm like flicking to somebody, like if I'm flicking to this guy on the left here, and my crosshair gets to here, then I might think I'm on him because my crosshair is touching him. That's just like a trick of the eye for me. And so that's not, for me, that wasn't very reliable. And also these T's have this stupid hood on their player model that's too close to their head. So if I'm going this way, I think I'm on him, even though I'm not. That confuses me every time, especially if they're too far away. But the reason why I do a dot crosshair is because that gets rid of that. That gets rid of that need for trying to figure out like, am I exactly on him or not? So I like to go by the principle that they talk about in that Mel Gibson movie, The Patriot: aim small, miss small. So I think since this game is, accuracy is very important, I think this dot crosshair has really helped me become a lot more accurate just because of that. It's helped me focus on accuracy. And that's not like, I just want to let everybody know, it's not like you can't play with whatever crosshair you want to, because in general you just need something that you feel comfortable with. Besides, this game is a lot about like peeking and counter strafing, obviously. So it's like if there's a guy there standing in a usual spot or something like that on a site, and you're gonna peek the usual spot, then that's good enough. Look, I don't need to aim. I just need to counter strafe into him, you know? Like, let's say, oh, that wasn't too hard. You know, it's not too bad. See, I fell for that thing again. It's not too difficult. The only reason why you'd want to have like a T crosshair is especially if it's like bigger or whatever. It doesn't need to be bigger. It can be as big as whatever one I had. It was exercise. It could be as big as this or whatever. The good thing about this, usually the theory is like the bigger the crosshair, the faster you are to flick more accurately or whatever to somebody's head. But I think that's true, because then it's like, again, it's that trick of your mind is, okay, I'm going to flick to this guy right here. It's like, okay, my crosshair needs to go from this guy to this guy, we'll say. Okay, that was slow. Hold on. Hold on. Too big of a flick. You know, like you don't need. There's not like too much micro adjustment that needs to go on there. It's only when you're like trying to flick and like I'll flick to this guy. It's like, oh, micro adjust, right? Oh, micro adjust. Like if you go that far, like maybe you need to work on your sensitivity, but like. This game is all about sort of flicking and then micro adjusting, you know. If you ever see a pro play deathmatch, it looks like they just go bing bong bing bong bing bong bing bong bing bong. Like it just seems like they're just like clicking on heads, but really they're doing this, adjusting and hitting. They're doing that. But it speeds so fast, it's ridiculous. Like, maybe that you can't even see. You could probably see him, you just gotta pay attention. But I, in general, stopped liking this crosshair, like I said, because I wanted to focus more on clicking heads a lot more, like on my one-taps and stuff. Like, to be more accurate, you know? It's really good that the T crosshairs are that help with the speed and stuff like that, but again, when the game is half about like counter strafing, oh my gosh, about counter strafing, then like and crosshair placement in general, then it's like flicking and being accurate is something you can work on as well, not in spite of like having a crosshair to, I don't know, I don't want to say like make up for the fact that you need to aim better, but like I'm saying that a crosshair isn't going to save you if your aim is bad. That's why I'm saying like this game sucks. That's seriously, that's why I'm saying like your crosshair almost doesn't matter. But that's kind of like what I went through in general with deciding what kind of crosshair I wanted. Going from this kind of crosshair, I think it was actually a little bit bigger too at a certain point. I did definitely do like a crosshair like this that was basically a dot, but it was just in a T shape. I even did like the circle crosshair. I don't think any sane person uses like a circle. Oh, never mind, there's Nico. I don't know why, like Nico doesn't have this crosshair, I don't think. But I tried to do more of like a circle as well. That way I can totally envision like just the very center of the gap being the head, but that just kind of confused me after a while too. So like I think the dot crosshair is in general the best. So so if you want to come to like this workshop map at CS Stats, and you can just come on here. This is the map I've shown in a previous video that I've done, where I like to go and I like to counter strafe practice. So, as you can see, I need to practice more. But yeah, that's all I've got for this video. Like I said, just reminders, it doesn't matter what crosshair you use, it matters what you're comfortable with, and it matters more of how you practice your aim. So for me, dot crosshair helps me be more accurate. It doesn't necessarily help me aim any faster, but it helps me aim smoother, and I think that's just as important, because I think slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So that's all I got. Peace.